space, your productivity, personal development, and everything that can help you become a better you. My name is Olwaseun, and you are very welcome. We have a number of ways you can use and being a part of the conversation. We've got the WhatsApp line, we have the call line, we're even streaming live on YouTube. YouTube is youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos. That's our YouTube channel. And you should subscribe while you're there so that anytime we go live, you know you have to join or maybe save the stream for another time. So if you're following us across all social media platforms, you would have seen the flyer. And the flyer is basically talking about the HR's handbook of office etiquette, not just anywhere, but here in Nigeria, because that is our context. Well, if you're not in Nigeria, it still can apply to you. So
Mm.
we'll be just telling you some of those etiquettes or those unspoken rules or even spoken rules that apply in the workplace. But then we will be taking it from the manager's point of view. Maybe what your manager wants to tell you all this while, but they've not had the chance. So I have someone who is a seasoned people practitioner with a wealth of experience spanning over a decade of interfacing with C-suite, HR leaders, hiring managers on all issues as it concerns the HR function. Then she's also very much involved with talent management, emotional intelligence, organizational design, learning, the organizational culture, and employee engagement. This is her second time, and I'm just so glad she could take a little bit of time out of her very busy schedule to be my guest this morning. So please make welcome the founder, Workplace with Jam. Her name is Olajumoke Aleoke Malachi, also known
Yeah.
as Dr. Jam. Good
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
for
you for
having me.
being here. I totally appreciate this. Thank you for being here. All right, so let's quickly get down to the conversation. Now, we know that etiquette has to do with different things that guide or rules, those rules, either spoken or unspoken, that guide the interaction, guide the relationship, guide communication, and all of those things in the workplace. But before I even start to highlight some of those things that might apply, I'd like to take it from your point of view. Tell me how, in the course of being over a decade in the workspace, what would you call the culture generally in the typical corporate space in Nigeria? Would you say it is relaxed? Would you say it is uptight? Would you say anything goes?
That would be hard to tell. Many things determine the type of culture an organization has, the kind of industry you're in, the kind of business that you do, where you do business, businesses that are in the riverine areas, for instance, typically oil companies that are in the, if you know what I mean, southeast
Mhm.
or south-south, you know that there's a peculiarity to how they do business. You are mindful of the community you are in. So again, culture really will be determined by the kind of business that you do, the environment where you do business, the people, because in the end, people shape culture. But these are some of the things that can determine the kind of culture that exists. But I'll also add that increasingly, a lot of case has been made over the years about creating enabling environment for employees to do good work. So that is gaining a lot of momentum. It's gaining a lot of traction because even some industries that before now used to be maybe uptight, people would die trying to meet their targets. In recent times, they're a lot more relaxed. I don't
Mm.
want to mention any industry. So it is that feedback has gone out. Business leaders are getting this feedback and they're saying that we're not saying that we won't hold people accountable to excellence. We're not saying people will still not perform. But we know now that there's a better way to do things. So I want you to excel. I want you to perform. I will drive you. But I would also be mindful about how I do that and the kind of environment that I create for you to work. But I hope that answers your question. But yeah.
Yes, it does. It does. All right, so we take a breather, and when we come back, we will be dissecting all of those things. For instance, part of those things, attitudes that managers might be putting up but that they don't know is actually hampering or bringing in a little bit of toxicity into the work environment and vice versa. So the employees as well, those things that they do in the workplace that can be hindering the flow of productivity or making it look like the manager is difficult to work with when in actual
Mm.
fact it might not be. So we examine that right after this. If you're joining us for the first time, this is Office Journal on Smooth 98.1. And today we are talking about the workplace as always, but we are calling it the HR's Handbook of Office Etiquette. I'll be right back. Are we good? It feels like you're looking over your shoulder.
Not quite, but yeah. And we're live on YouTube, right?
Yes, we are.
I'm okay. I just need to do this quickly.
I'm sorry that I'm putting you in this position. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Hi. Thank you for being there. The Daily Kadiri. Okay, yeah, so like I mentioned before the break, so when we come back, we start with those things that the
That's
manager
fine.
might be doing, and
That's
afterwards
fine.
talk about the employee. And then later on, we move to some common, so we talk about some specific things, just code of conduct in the workplace. For instance,
Mm.
how should you relate with your coworkers? I'll start by asking you what you think of the whole, your colleagues are your colleagues, your friends are your friends, still make friends in the workplace.
I don't agree, but yeah.
Yeah.
Within bounds, of course. I always say not every friendship you make work, not everybody can be your friend. But if I spend the most of my time at work, it just makes sense that I have some level of support system. I trust the people that I work with. I can have healthy conversations with them. But for me, in every job I've been in, I've actually made friends. So even when I leave those organizations, I take the friendships with me. And
Yeah.
no regret whatsoever. For the ones that work, the ones that don't work, good riddance. Yeah. So, but I'm not an advocate of, oh, do your work and go home. You spend more time at work than anywhere else. But yeah,
True. It only makes sense that you make it as comfortable for yourself as possible.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, we're coming back on. Exactly what she said. You're listening to Smooth 98.1, and this is Office Journal. My name is Olwaseun Wolusego, and you're welcome to join the conversation. Well, you can start by listening and making sure that your dial is set on the 98.1 for the rest of today and tomorrow and beyond. Now, every Tuesday from 11 till 11:50, what we do is talk about productivity, personal development, growth, career path, and everything on Office Journal. And today we're talking about the HR's book of office etiquette. We started by telling you some of the things that can determine the workplace culture. And by we, I mean my guest and I. My guest is a founder of Workplace with Jam, and she is Dr. Jam. Jam standing for Jumoke Alioke Malachi, not the jam you put on your bread. All right. So
That's that one.
let's talk about those things that the managers might be doing that is not making the workplace a very good place to be in.
Mm. I think for starters, it will be not recognizing when people do great work. Um, Not recognizing when people do great work. Every human being wants to feel validated, wants to feel valued and appreciated. Even in our friendships, even in our relationships, people want to feel appreciated. So somebody does something, and the manager just sees it as you've just done the barest minimum. I don't even have to even the most tiny thing that your people do, when you appreciate them, they'll go above and beyond. My training in emotional intelligence has exposed me to the fact that emotions drive people, people drive performance.
Mm.
So if you are deliberate to meet people at that emotional level, they will go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not all KPIs, it's not all targets, it's not, there's more to it. because it's not the machine that will achieve those things, it's the human beings. So appreciating, celebrating their little wins. Um, some things managers also do is somebody has made an error and you just sort of hold them to it forever. They almost can never come out of it. But hey, we all have made errors. When your career was starting, somebody took a chance on you, you didn't know something, you needed to learn, and we all go through that phase. So somebody has done something wrong. Um, the opportunities to help them learn is what the line manager should actually make sure they create. And then, of course, remind them that they can be better. And you will see. I always say that if you judge a fish by its ability to fly, to live his whole life feeling like a failure, because a
Mm-hmm.
fish is not meant to be flying. So
Yeah.
somebody has done something wrong, help them get it right. Believe that they can get it right. And of course, if you see that those mistakes are now like consistent, then you know that okay, something is amiss, and you can do a deeper dive. I'm saying somebody has made one mistake, it's not enough to nail them. And not only just nailing them, some line managers will never forget the mistake you make. So that when you do something, that's the first recall. Even the Bible says we should forgive and forget. So yeah, line managers, take note. What else? What else? Engendering collaboration within the team. I've come across line managers who sort of enjoy when there's chaos in their team. Is yeah, yeah. In this 9 to 5, there's nothing we have not seen. There are some line managers that just like that. You guys are just at loggerheads. That doesn't help. When your team is healthy, work will flow. You said something about improving the flow of work. Yes, when your team is healthy as a line manager, you know to manage your people well. You are deliberate about getting your members, the members of your team on the same page. When I learned my culture framework, one of the elements of the culture framework, you can check it up on LinkedIn or my Instagram page, A Workplace with Jam. One of the elements of that culture framework was Ubuntu. Ubuntu is an African ideology that talks about I am because we are. So if you are a line manager who make your people compete unhealthily, it will affect the output of your department. Be sure. Your people, if from you as a line manager, you're not bringing unity into the team, there is a problem. Don't join in. I will refer very quickly to a video I came across some years ago, and I was talking about the role of a leader, and this was by Jack Welch. I like to refer to Jack as my leadership crush, one-time CEO of General Electric. And Jack was saying that there are 4 things any leader should do for their people. And I'll talk about it because we're talking about line managers. The first thing he said, be the chief meaning officer. Be the one to define what are people doing? Why are they doing what they're doing? Where are you trying to go? What's the big goal we're trying to achieve? Give meaning to the work they do. So that when I come to work every day, I'm a janitor. I come to work every day. Let me know that as I'm wiping the floor clean, I'm contributing my bits. Is a line manager that can sell that vision to you. Second, he said, be the chief broomer. So as a line manager, if you're not removing the blockers your people have, you have failed them. And these are some of the issues that will impact on performance. You've told them to go and do a task, and they come back to you to say, I have this issue, I have that issue. And you're doing as if you cannot hear. Maybe they're speaking Latin or Greek. You are ignoring the problems they have because you are waiting till appraisal to say they didn't get the job done. You have failed them as a leader. And I like to say here, I'm happy I'm on radio, that the same way God will hold parents accountable for their children, leaders, you will not go scot-free. There's a special slot in heaven or hellfire, depending on the one you pick. If you manage, Sheon, you didn't send me this one, but we do it. If you manage your people well or you fail them, there's a special space in heaven or hellfire, depending on, yes, because leadership is a responsibility. God gave you people to manage. It's like parenting. So as parents will give account of the children God gave them. Leaders, oh, they should quote me, please. Go and tag me on LinkedIn. I said what I said. Let me continue what Jack Roche said. So he said, be the chief meaning officer, be the chief broomer. And then he said, have generosity gene. And having generosity gene as a leader is be okay with seeing your people succeed. There are some leaders that because they don't qualify for promotion, because the business is not promoting them, nobody else will smell promotion.
Whoa.
Yes. And Jack says, have generosity gene. I always say that not just leaders, every human being should have generosity gene. Be okay with seeing other people succeed, celebrate their successes. I always tell people that when people around me are celebrating, hello, it means that God is in the neighborhood. It
Mm-hmm.
means that my own breakthrough is coming, my own testimony is on the way. Not I'm going to be hating and beefing and feel like, oh, why is it the one that has a new car? Why don't you think your own car is coming? Let me go ahead. The last one, he said, be the chief fun officer. If you are a line manager and you are a sadist and you don't know how to bring fun into the workplace, you have failed your people. Those things impact on their output. Be the chief fun officer. Give them reasons to banter. Give them reasons to declare pizza and ice cream when they go. That's like, I'm not saying you do that once in a year. That's like you're happy once a year. Then if it's that you don't have joy, go and fix it. See a therapist.
Wow. I know each time you come on the show, you definitely make it pour with knowledge and the
I try.
extra. I like the
I try.
extras. The one, the dessert, the side. I do like it. If you're tuning
I
in and
try.
listening to us for the first time, you're listening to Office Journal on Smooth 98.1. And my guest is Dr. Jam. That is Jumoke Alioke Malakai. We're talking about the workplace, especially the culture and the things that determine the workplace culture. So we've highlighted some of the responsibility that behoves on the leader, the manager. We've talked about how you need to create the environment because you actually create the environment. What you tolerate,
Absolutely.
what you allow thrives in the environment. So you need to be
Absolutely.
your actions and your inactions, what you endorse, what you celebrate, what you appreciate. Everything altogether forms the work culture. So thank you so much for highlighting that. Now let's go to the other side of the coin, the employees.
So typically when I talk about emotional intelligence in my sessions, I always say that it's not only the line manager that should use empathy, especially. And empathy is putting yourself in the other person's shoes to say that whatever their reality is, even if it's not your reality, be able to feel it like yours. And so when I talk about that, people always think, I always say that I'm not just talking to leaders. Even as employees, you have a responsibility. And I'll use emotional intelligence to talk about that very quickly. As an employee, you need to be able to self-manage. Be able to self-manage. What should you be doing? Nobody should be looking over your shoulder before your job gets done. Be able to self-manage. Whatever tools you need to use. I have an hourglass. When I want to focus on something like this, I just put it, I turn it. Oh yeah, nobody should distract me. For the next, I think it's a 30-minute hourglass. For the next 30 minutes, I want to focus on this task and get it done. Nobody should be following up with you endlessly to get the job done. So as an employee, be able to self-manage whatever tools and resources. If you need to set alarms, if you need to use reminders, be how we say you are a boss babe. Be a true boss babe. As in like be in control. Don't let anybody ever call you out. Oh, I gave you this, you didn't do it. Let that not be you. Then there's the place of displaying empathy on behalf of your boss. And when I say that, I mean the meetings your boss goes to, you may never enter those meetings. The feedback your boss gets about the quality of work that you churn, it may never come to you directly. But I hope you know that when you refuse to do your work, your boss gets called out. So I'm saying, as an employee, put yourself in your boss's shoes. What should you be doing to make sure that your boss doesn't get called out, doesn't get dragged by their wig if they're a woman, doesn't get dragged by their punk or balded, whichever the case. I'm saying do a great job. Give a good account of yourself so that because of you, your boss will be getting thumbs up and not the other way around. Because there's no boss who, because of the quality of work that you churn, a shoddy job, the person gets called out. They can, and depending on how emotionally intelligent they are, if they are not emotionally intelligent, they will chew your neck. It is if they're emotionally intelligent, maybe they have the fear of God, a little sprinkle of the fear of God, they may be just deliberate to not, lash out on you and say, are you okay? Are you all right? You get. So as an employee, self-manage. Know to manage your time. Whatever tools and resources you need to do, use those things. And then, of course, be a great employee. I always say to people that I don't know if you've heard about the Great Place to Work accreditation. It's a body that accredits organizations across the world on basic things that need to be in place for them to be called a great place to work. But how do they define great place to work? They define it as a place where employees trust leadership, love the work that they do, and the people they do it with. So you are an employee. If you are not helping other people do a great job, what I said about leaders and reward, you will collect your reward. Because if you are the reason people come to work and they are sad, they are moody, because yours is unhealthy competition, your own is to go and tell the other that this person said, that person said, and you're putting up rancor, you're the one carrying gist. please, as I'm even saying it, I'm already tired. You get. So don't be that kind of employee. And if you notice what I'm saying is not just in the way you deal with your boss, but even in the way you deal with other people within the team. So don't be, and some people think, oh, what me I want is promotion. And so whatever I need to do to get it, wow. Be sure that it will backfire. It will wait for you in front. Again, we should be careful what we do in the workplace because what you do, you may not be the one to suffer it, except you don't have children. Even if you don't have children, they can still meet you in the front. Thanks.
Oh, Dr. Jam, always a pleasure. You're listening to Office Journal on Smooth 98.1, and we are talking about the workplace culture and those things that define the workplace culture. We've talked about the role and the responsibilities of the manager as well as you, the employee. We'll be right back. The time is actually flying really fast. It's already
and I'm
27
dramatic as
minutes.
always.
It makes it enjoyable.
Once again to 2024 as businesses face numerous challenges in today's
So when we come back, we'll pick up from the place we stopped, and I was going to mention something now, and my
Okay.
brain cells failed me. It will come back. Okay, interpersonal relationships. So we skip to that part.
That's fine. But I hope there are useful takeaways from this conversation that can help people.
Definitely. Definitely. I think having that mentality of it's a dog eats dog world is just terrible. It is. And like you rightly said, there are some people, some managers who actually foster that, who contribute to that.
And they fail their people.
Oh, I was going to ask, so talking about appreciation for the employees in the workplace, what are those things, if you were to suggest things that can constitute appreciation, what would they be?
I have a culture of just always giving my people flowers. It would just look like I'm spoiling them, but you do something like, short. Don't let me say this on radio. Two members of my team did something. I was like, come. And I gave them cash, but not our currency. That's all I will leave it as. Like, it wasn't anything, but it was just, as in one of them still buzzing this money. You know, I'm like, it didn't cost me much. But that's just me saying, well done.
Yeah.
I've hosted them to hang out, bought them lunch, is in the little things. You know, of course, my salary, I have my own bills and responsibilities. I'm not going to give you money every day, but the encouragement, I come on our WhatsApp platform and I'm like, this person did this thing well done. This person did this thing well done. You know, I get feedback from the top that we did well on something. I go back to the person who did it and give them their flowers. Some bosses, when they get those feedback, they'll keep it in their pockets and think, after all, I'm the leader of the team. Nobody else needs to. No. And so the reason, and I must say that, I say with all humility, the current team I lead is a team of about 15. We're a close-knit team. I always tell them, guys, I got you. As in, you can drop the ball and feel like, I would like to tell Jam, but you know that it's still Jam, you have to come and tell. Because now still this Jam will solve that problem. She can say, what did you? But she got you. Let's go ahead.
That's beautiful. Oh, you're back. And you're listening to Office Journal on Smooth 98.1. My name is Olwaseun Olusegun. My guest is Dr. Jam, that is Jumoke Alioke Malakai, and she is a people practitioner. In fact, if you caught her right now, she will bleed people, the love for people and good workplace culture. So that's what we've been discussing since 11 o'clock. Now let's move over to interpersonal relationship. And I'll start with this commonly said thing on social media that your workplace colleagues are your colleagues, your friends are your friends. Don't mix it and don't think anybody has your back in the workplace. Is it really true?
I don't agree. As much as I cannot outrightly say, I cannot vouch for somebody else's experience. Some people have been burnt silly by past colleagues. That's the truth. But I was saying to somebody recently that I think it was on Saturday. I ordered something online And I was telling the lady that, I'm just sending this money in trust because the last order that I made, I got scammed. As I got scammed, I didn't get my money. I didn't get the item I paid for. I now said to the lady that, but you can't be involved in a car accident and then say you will never enter a car. How will you go from Aja to mainland? You enter car now. So I'm saying, even if we have been scarred, I don't want to take for granted. I will not undermine anybody's experience. You've had past colleagues who, as you were confiding in them, they were carrying your gist, it became a mess. Or as you were confiding in them, they were pitching you badly to the boss and it affected you and your growth within an organization. Yes, there are employees and colleagues like that. But I am the advocate of we can build genuine friendships in the workplace. I've worked in about 6, 7 organizations in the last 15 years in my career. And I have friends from every job. I don't know how I've done it. They've become family. They can come to my house for sleepover. I can go to the house for sleepover. Now I'm saying there are some friendships that did not transcend though. So I'm not saying that it's every friendship that we became family. There are some that they don't know the door of my house. You don't have my address. Yes. There were some people, I tell people that even in the workplace, I was deliberate. If I knew that your work impacts my work, I will be deliberate to work well with you. I won't let you mess me up. But if I leave that organization, you will never hear from me again. So in your mind, I'm your besto. No, wala. Shall let's be doing this work. I won't let you frustrate my work. When I leave that organization, that's when it will occur to you that, oh, this lady not to. And I'm not pretending. I just worked well with you. Again, we need to be careful. There are acquaintances, there are friends, then there are bonds that we build. So it's not everybody you can build a bond with and be okay with that. That's another thing. So let's also manage our expectations. Don't expect that, this Dr. Jama said we should be friends. I'm not saying you'll be friends with everybody. You're not ice cream. And like the joke I always make, even Santa Claus comes out once a year. If it was easy, why is it not coming out every day? It comes out once a year. So you can't be sweet to everybody every time. I've gone to organizations that, okay, I have a former colleague who reported into me in my job in 2020. I left that organization in 2021. And even though I left that organization in 2021, we have been friends ever since. Today is our birthday, and I've put up like 3 of our pictures on my WhatsApp status already. We're no longer colleagues, but I'm saying, so you can build relationships like that. There are some other friends or acquaintances or colleagues from jobs that the moment I leave that organization, that's the end. Like, no contact. So I was saying to Sheon earlier that you spend the most of your time at work. It only makes sense that you have some level of support system there, and you need it. There are some people you need to be able to confide in. You need to be able to talk about the issues you have. Some people believe that I'd rather go to home to my spouse or my mom or my dad. If that works for you, that's fine. But you'll agree with me that you don't want to be in the office every day when you have to go and you don't have one person that you can call your own person and you can confide in. We're all human beings. Remember I said emotions drive us. Because if you let those things, you will just blow one day. You just do, you just bust. So look for your own people, and not everybody is your person. So this is something you have to do prayerfully. Who should you be confiding in? Who should you be talking to? So that not that you talk to them and then your gist becomes you see it on the billboard of the organization. So again, is to do it with discretion, do it with discernment, But yes, can you find your people in the organization? Yes, I've seen it happen many times. Don't spouses even meet themselves out? How about that?
You see that thing you just touched on? Let's
How about that?
Let's go there. That was not where I was
yes.
going with that from, but let me touch on that. Have you heard of work husband, work wife before?
What's that? Oh my! I saw some video some time ago about this work wife, work husband. Again, remember I said we're emotional beings.
Yes, we are.
Us. Again, it's now up to us to put the boundaries in place. Even as a single person, let there be boundaries, because you don't want that you have slept with everybody already. Sorry that I'm getting all. And then somebody in the office now likes you and thinks that I like this guy, I want to make her my wife. But what's the gist that I will go around? So boundaries need to be in place, even as a single person, not to talk of a married person. Do I need to talk about married people? I need to talk about it. Okay.
Please do.
But boundaries need to be in place. We're building friendships. And when I say build friendships, really, thank you for raising that. It can be even opposite sex, really. But even at that, let there be boundaries. Let us know the lines we will not cross. Because when you get involved with people in the workplace, it can
Yes,
smell.
I still want to stay on that, especially as something went viral a number of weeks back, if not 2 weeks back. I don't remember the specific dates, but
The lady who cooked 5 a.m. because
yeah,
somebody gave her
people
an
woke
extra
up.
cutlery.
Exactly. I wouldn't say it's a normal thing, but it's
Mm.
not an unusual occurrence or unusual sight where you see people eating together in the workplace, where people are bringing out.
I don't eat with anybody in the workplace. I eat my food. I don't understand. As I'll be sharing cutlery. You have not heard about hepatitis B.
It might not be you sharing cutlery. It might just you bringing out your own cutlery. You know that once this
No.
person has brought food, oh, this food is ours. When I bring food, the food is ours. So, in other words, what are those boundaries, those do's and don'ts when it concerns workplace relationship? When you know you're starting to cross the line.
Am I, as in, yeah, I'm going to be saying this one again. I think the boundaries, let people use their discretions to create the boundaries.
Mm.
People should use their discretion. What is off limits? I won't open my food now. Somebody will come and say, I want to. No, no, that's fine. I have a friend who always likes to pick beef or something, the protein in your food. And I would typically say, okay, I'll give her, but I don't know that. Again, it's about what you allow. That's not to say that I don't have colleagues who eat from the same plate. So that's what I'm saying is the boundary you create. I don't know that there's a book of, do's and don'ts in the workplace. Again, it is what do you allow? I don't share cutlery, for instance. I'm very finicky. It can make me puke. So I clean my cutlery, I put it away. If I don't bring my cutlery, maybe I'll use a plastic one, I'll dispose of it or something. I'm very finicky about that. So I'm not going to let anybody cross the line with me. So again, it's what would you allow? But some people will say, oh, I don't do that, but you do it to other people. So know that what goes around comes around. Yes. You cannot say you don't take it and then you do it to other people. Bring your own cutlery, bring your plates, have your own bottle. That one I cannot do. I have multiple bottles that I use for my water or my drinks or stuff, and they're not things I will share. And, I'm not even for me. Oh, I'm neater than them. That's not it. I just, for my own sanity, I just will not share them. If you ever tell me, German, I like this bottle, I can bring extra. I can buy for you, but not that you and I will be sharing the bottle. So those are the little things. Just creating those boundaries. In the end, like I said, discretion. And discernment. You should know what boundaries to put in place. Just for your own sanity in the workplace.
Yeah, very important, especially
Yeah.
when you start to see situations or maybe circumstances start to pop up that shows that you have been too, for the lack of a better word, available or accessible, and the
Mm.
guardrails are down. So please create the boundaries. They're important. Now, on a final note on things related to that, about talking about your job on social media, some are of the school of thought that whatever happens in your workplace or nothing about your workplace should make it to social media, while some at some point have to go on social media to give those extra gist without exactly naming names. So what's your take?
So I think the first thing I would say is depending on the organization you work for and the industry you are in, some industries are highly regulated. Highly regulated. I recall that I had a program that we ran last year. I work with a financial institution, and it was a summer internship program. So we had undergrads who came for summer internship with us, and one of them is a law student, and I think he or she had served in our legal department, and we just took her through. Oh, this is how we process this particular document. Just exposing them to the world of work, and that was the idea of the program. Excuse me. And before we knew it, this person went on LinkedIn and out of excitement, wanting to share what she was learning, she was writing, oh, I learned that to do this, you have to do this. Some of those things, see even your own look. And then the person tagged me because, yes, I was part of the people who brought them in. And so the first thing I did was, I think this is too much information from even just seeing it as a HR person. And so I grabbed it and then sent to one of my colleagues in audit. And I said, is this okay for this person to share? I was like, no, you need to pull it down. I say, calm down. That's what I'm asking. So again, you need to know that organizations have code of ethics. There's compliance for a reason. There are do's and don'ts. Actions have consequences. Don't say I will just do it and I'll get away with it. It can backfire. And then even the same way people bring their family gist out, they are the one that brought it to social media to be doing online in law for you. So when they drag you in and they talk about you anyhow, you brought that upon yourself. Not everything, all things are lawful. Not all things are expedient. So it's not everything you bring to social media, even about your work. The one I saw in recent times, but I think it has reduced. When people get offers, they will now snap the offer we will see the grade, the level, the salary. I don't know if it's a generational thing or people just don't think anymore because really it doesn't make sense. When we started our career, your salary was a secret. As in, it's as if you swore that you will not disclose what you're earning. And then now people are snapping offer letter and saying, this is my salary. Or you get an increment. Those are information about me you will never see online. So that discretion is important as we are growing in our careers. And some people think, what's the big deal? That's big deal. Again, you know that internet never forgets. So you go online, you post something. People have lost opportunities because of what they tweeted years ago. So I think that's just a reminder that you need to be careful what you write, so you don't come and bring, really delicate information about your organization or something that's happening in your organization that is quite confidential, and then you bring it to social media. Very, very wrong. And I hope that people are listening and they take note of that.
Yes. Actually, what you said is correct. According to study, I remember talking about this last year about disclosing salaries, allowances, benefits. It's a generational thing. So it turns out that millennials and Gen Z are more vocal about what they're earning and their workplace.
I'm a millennial and I'm not.
Compared to baby boomers.
I'm a millennial and I'm not. I don't agree. This is a Gen Z and Gen K stuff. Wow. Now we are firing shots.
In the stratification of millennials.
I was 40 last year and I'm very proud. 41 this year, no regrets. So drag me very well, but I'm a millennial. I'm proud. Upper, we have sense in my generation. I don't mean other people don't have sense. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I don't know that. Sure, you're the one bringing me to here. You're the one bringing all generations. Please don't come after me. I didn't mean it like that. Sure.
No, but really, it has been a conversation online for a bit, how people just share and the lines have become blurry. There are some things that are regarded as too much information, especially if you're not very clear about your company policy and your workplace strict guidelines about it. So please be careful. I know there is excitement. You want to share with people. You want to say this and that. Please be careful about it. And after this, we will be wrapping up this conversation. You know how time flies by when you're having a really good conversation like this one? Yes, that's struck again. You're listening to Office Journal on Smooth 98.1. We've got 6 more minutes. We're almost done.
Yay!
Oh my days. So someone on Instagram, because I'm live on my Instagram page, said as T Talks 01 says she sounds very intelligent and knows her onions, and I definitely agree.
Please let her know I'm blushing.
I think it's a he. I think it's a mister.
Please let him know I'm blushing.
And here. Okay. All right. So there is a question for you when we come back.
Sorry, Sean.
And that is what you will listen to in a matter of 15 minutes, Casbah. And I happen to be your host from 12 p.m. till 4 p.m. on Smooth 98.1, playing you all the Afrobeat, Afro jazz, Afro funk, salsa, what you call world music. We call it African music. 12 p.m. till 4 p.m. on Smooth 98.1. But right now, we are discussing office matters, workplace etiquette, boundaries, culture. And my guest has been Dr. Jam, that is Jumoke Alioke Malakai. I do have a comment and then I'll take a question. So on WhatsApp, Muste says, I think it's Gen Z that will go online to post everything that's supposed to be confidential alone
It's not
online.
me that said it to.
Millennials still have filters. He said millennials grew up before the birth of social media. Gen Z
Absolutely.
into it and think the world cares about all of the stories. Gen Zs and anyone who can't be discreet are a risk, in my opinion, to office privacy and strategies. Now, still on that matter, on my Instagram page, Ogbeni Skill A says, one important question. Why should we keep salaries secret? I understand keeping companies' confidential information confidential, but what harm will revealing my salary do to the company?
Due to the company, are you arming the organization? Not quite. But you know, when you let people know how much you're earning, your people that want to bill you will be able to bill you more.
There is
If
that.
people have your address, they can come and rob you. So you may, yeah, okay, you're not arming the organization, but how about you just being discreet about something that is personal to you? I see posts a lot online that will say things you shouldn't reveal to people, your health, your pay, your next move. So really, maybe well, these days people say if you're battling in health, you should talk about it. You never know what's the solution, but you don't want to come on air and say, I have one. So there's something you should be discreet about. Go and look for the solution to those problems and be addressing the issue, not coming to share it. So sharing your salaries is confidential. You shouldn't share it. If you're in an interview, if you're going through an interview process and they want to know what are you currently earning, that's different. But that you just come to LinkedIn and say, guys, guess what? What I'm currently earning is 1 million every month. And after that, what next? Why are you telling us? To what end? Again, to what end? What are you trying to achieve? So you may not even be arming the organization, but you don't feel like you're saying too much. That's TMI. You don't think it's TMI? Please let me ask. I don't know.
Oh, he can
Does the
hear.
person not think it's TMI? Really? Too much information. So yeah.
Well, unless there is a purpose to the sharing, unless there is a very vital thing you want to achieve with it. Plus, I'm also thinking about security, especially
Why?
in this age and time
They will
where
kidnap
people
you.
are sourcing exactly. You don't want to
Kid-
make a juicy ransom offer to kidnappers. So,
So that's what I'm saying. Even if it's not hurting the organization, you, the individual that is declaring, and this is my 15th year in my career, and there's nothing you can explain to me to say this is why I need to put my current salary online. This is the reason. I'm waiting. As in, bring the strong reason. I'm waiting. But I don't see it. But yeah, like I said, if you're going through a recruitment process and they have asked you through that process, that's different. Even they will keep it confidential. It'll be part of the documents for that process. But that you come online to indicate how much you are earning. Somebody
well,
has said this particular generation. I won't mention names. Did you know your mom's salary, your dad's salary when you were growing up? Did you know it?
till now, I don't. I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know what they're taking as graduate
oh,
pension. I don't.
oh. Just
Generally,
go
the
ahead.
African culture, we're quite secretive. And it's why you will not see somebody post anything about their work visa or their visa process until you see them in the snow.
You just see them in the snow. Otila. Otila.
Interesting. All right. On that note, we have come to the end of this conversation now.
Oh,
Yeah, it went by real fast. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for
thank
sharing all those gems with us. Absolutely wonderful and has added value to someone at least. I was
I
hoping
hope.
we would get into some other things, but hey, we've talked
I need to
about
run.
yeah, we need to run. Thank you. I look forward to another chat with you. I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yes. Thank
I'm
you.
not going to say no on radio. People say, how can she say no to you? So I'll just say, okay, sure. We'll talk about it when we talk about it. But thank you. Thank you for having me again. I really
On
appreciate it.
social media, how can they find you?
My name is Jumoke Alioke Malakai, in brackets Workplace with Jam on LinkedIn. On Twitter, on Instagram, it is at Workplace with Jam. And yes, you should follow us. We share useful nuggets that can help you on your career journey. So please make sure to follow us.
All
Thank you
right,
very
thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank
Thank you for being my guest. We can allow you go for your, stuff now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being a part of the show from 11 till now. And it's been good with you. Thank you. Let's do this again next week, 11 a.m. till 11:50 on Office Journal on Smooth 98.1. And you know that we also have Casbah. I will be with you on Casbah from 12 p.m. till 4 p.m., serving you the lunch of African music for 4 good hours. And after that, it will be more great programming on the station that loves music and loves life. This is Smooth 98.1. And my name is Olwaseun Olusegun.
Gentlemen, welcome once again to 2020.
Thank you, Mr. T Talks. Thank you for being there from the beginning until now. And thank you, Ogbeni Skill A. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of the chats. It's been good. Thank you. All right, so maybe tomorrow again, I'll go live. So I tend to just go live whenever I have a talk or an interview on my segments on radio. So mostly Tuesday, Wednesday, then I've got Friday where we discuss movies. And then there is Saturday as well, where it's about health and wellness. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for your time. Bye.
The latest trends at a special event that will cover a variety of different areas that are of interest to marketing communication professionals in the country, from insights into media, consumers, and the marketing landscape. This webinar is a must attend for business owners, marketing professionals, including Dr. Olanikan Fadolapo, the DG of ARCON, that's the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, as well as the President of National Institute your spot. Visit all Media Reach OMD's social media handles and register today. You can follow at Media Reach OMD for more information as well as registration details. Now, this year's event is proudly supported by the Advertising Regulatory Commission of Nigeria, ARCON, and Geopol West Africa, the foremost consumer research and analytics agency. So don't miss out on this opportunity to stay ahead of the game in the marketing communication industry. Be there on January 25th.
Hey, what's up? This is Ray. Stay tuned, stay locked right here.
Oh, what's this streaming? Bye.